The tip of the day is to invest in a few key home shipping upgrades if you plan on doing the DIY shipping thing. If you are planning on shipping from home, then you owe it to yourself to make a few key investments in your shipping apparatus at home. DIY shipping is still the top choice for most comic book creator crowdfunders. There are certainly options to outsource your shipping, but I've found through the hundreds of creators that I've worked with and most of the guests that I've had on the Comics Launch podcast, most of them are still handling or overseeing all or most of the shipping when it comes to getting their comics and graphic novels out to backers. And there's a number of reasons why this is. Most comic projects are actually a few hundred backers or less. So the actual time it would take to do it from start to finish isn't all that much time. And in some cases, when it comes to finding and interviewing fulfillment partners and doing all the logistics to make sure that they get everything right, you may find that you're spending almost as much time doing that than to fulfill smaller campaigns. Also, comics need to be packed with care. It's sort of a relatively low priced item where backers have often very strong feelings about how that book needs to arrive. They want them bagged, they want them boarded, they want them protected in shipping. And so they need to be packed with care. And also, DIY shipping allows for personal touch. I know a lot of us like to sign things or include little sketches or original art or do other cool acknowledgments when we put together our packages and ship them out to backers. And doing it all yourself does allow for easy ability to add that personal touch. So there's a lot of reasons why DIY shipping is the choice for most. But what I want to give you is 4 essential DIY shipping tools that are worth investing in if you are someone that is going to be doing the DIY thing. And so the first tool is the Gemini Comic Supply Comic Flash Mailer. This is the best way to ship one or more comics. Each of these comic flash mailers can hold up to 12 comics or more, depending upon page count. They can also hold multiple graphic novels, hardcovers, softcovers. They're very flexible and they have a great design that prevents corners from getting bashed during shipping. Gemini Comic Supply is a long-running sponsor of the Comics Launch podcast, and we do have a discount code ComixLaunch that you can plug in at checkout, and you'll save on every order. But these Gemini Comic Supply flash mailers definitely are an investment. They will drastically reduce the complaints you'll get about damages in shipping and reduce the cost that you'll have to do to reship stuff. Spending a little bit more on a Gemini flash mailer is usually an investment worth making. Another investment worth making, this is one of those often overlooked things when it comes to shipping, something that a lot of people forget to add to their budget. But when I had my first Kickstarter campaign, I realized I spent $50 on tape, just on tape to seal all those packages. So that was a surprise. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is you're going to want to invest in a professional, high grade, high volume handheld tape dispenser to really make it easy to apply your shipping tape to those Gemini mailers. Also worth it to invest in quiet tape. Now, this might not be as much of an issue for you if you're working in a noisy room or a warehouse. Probably not that big of an issue. But if you are doing what I did during my very first Kickstarter campaign, where I was trying to fulfill 400 graphic novels in a small apartment and my wife is in the other room, I did not know about quiet tape. And she's my fiance at the time, actually, and we were preparing for our wedding. And I'm probably lucky that she went through with it because for about a month, she had to deal with listening to shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. It's amazing how loud and how repetitively loud tape dispensers can be. But there is something called quiet tape, which is noiseless or close to noiseless, that will drastically cut down that noise pollution. So if you are sharing an environment with someone else, I strongly recommend it's a very minimal extra cost for the quiet tape, but it will be an investment to make. Uline.com has quiet tape, and it has pretty much literally anything and everything that you could use or need when it comes to fulfillment and shipping. So that's a great resource as well. The third essential DIY shipping tool worth investing in is using online shipping software to buy postage and to print your postage at home. And for years, I was telling creators and recommending different software options that were like monthly fees or a one-time fee to get the service. But the great news is that right now, I believe pirateship.com is the best option for creators, and it is a free option. And they also have some discounted rates that are better than just about anywhere else, for especially for international shipping. They have options there that can really save you a significant amount of money. Avoiding trips to the post office, printing all your postage labels and things at home is definitely worth doing. So pirateship.com, you get a free account, and it's a no-brainer. And then last but certainly not least, and this is the one that's the biggest investment that I made here, but this is absolutely essential. You're going to want to invest in a Dymo thermal label printer. The four by 6 inch version, or the 4XL, is the one you're going to want, because that'll be big enough to print out everything that you need on your shipping labels. And this is one of those things where a lot of creators might balk at it a little bit, because it's an actual investment. Like the $200 to $300 price tag, and it varies, and sometimes there's discounts. Maybe you can, I know a few creators have gotten it for like 150, 160 at some points, but it's usually between $200 and $300 on Amazon and other places. That's going to make a lot of creators feel like this is maybe an unnecessary luxury, but trust me, it is not. It is an essential tool. And out of 100% of the creators that have heard this advice from me, took this advice from me, and went and bought it, they like immediately within their first Kickstarter campaign realized that it is like the single best investment that they make when it comes to running any kind of home online business or online shipping. When it comes to DIY shipping, it is like, it gives you it's professional. It saves you so much time. It's so easy. Like it feels good. Like I can't explain it until you've actually gone and done it. But just in terms of value, I bought my thermal label printer after my first campaign in 2012, and some 15,000 labels printed later for packages that have gone out to customers. This thing is still rocking and rolling. And again, I can't say enough about getting one of these if you plan on shipping at home. Okay. The ComixLaunch Planner is designed with checklists in mind to help you crush your DIY fulfillment. And so there are definitely a complete Kickstarter fulfillment checklist that cover everything from immediately after the campaign to managing your fulfillment process. There's also some tracking sheets to track the products that you're ordering, and the vendors that you're using, and whether it comes in or when it comes in. And so it's really designed to help you. But a few smart home shipping upgrades that you'd make now can save you time, money, and headaches later when it's time to fulfill. The ComixLaunch Planner makes it easy to prep for a smooth and successful DIY fulfillment experience from printer to post office.